Well, hello and welcome along to another We Happy Few 506
I
Nearly
have to
Men
get in,
podcast.
though.
Right.
Am I in or not? I'm in. Okay.
Uh, Someone's treading on my lines. Fortunately, is a master of the air, a man from the greatest generation, and someone I cannot tell off. So, James, if you just wouldn't mind giving me 10 seconds, I'll carry on with my introduction. Um, he's thrown me slightly. So, it's the We Happy Few podcast, Nearly Men. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Doug Allen. I'm here with Bob Farmer from the Living History Project Group magazine business. And we have with us uh, another master of the air. We are truly honored to welcome James L. Hutchinson. How are you, sir?
Just fine.
Just fine. How you how you
Or
handling the
99, or 98, 98 and a half, I'm just fine.
You look fine, man. You got the cheekbones of a 27-year-old.
Now, this millimeter quarter is still showing. Do I just click got it and get rid of it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going. Okay, go right ahead.
So I better give you a proper introduction, James. So the L stands for Lee. It's actually technical.
Now, I've always gone by Lee,
Do
but
you just go by Lee?
when you write a book or two, you have to use your full name.
Right.
So
How many books have you written?
I have 8.
8?
I have 6 on World War II and 2 on the Greatest Generation. I did one on after I did a few war stories. I'll back off a minute. My war stories are, except for my diary, they're all short stories by different men who did the fighting.
Right.
And
Okay.
people I have interviewed and people I got a hold of our 490th bomb group. All wrote stories about 40 years after the war. They wrote stories about their greatest mission, and therefore and they were not copyrighted. They were just big loose leaf volume, and they gave me permission to go right ahead and print those. And so I suddenly picked up about 200 stories. And a friend and I did a television program out of the high school here in Bedford, and we interviewed all the veterans in our area, probably 50 to 60 of them, and selected the ones that were good. But we'd give each guy a disc of his program, and then we'd broadcast it on a local TV channel. So I got those. And what I end up with is about 240 different stories of guys that actually did the fighting. I put my 20 missions. I did 20 missions before I was 20. I was a radio operator gunner on a B-17. 490th Bomb Group, Squadron 848. And we made lead crew after four missions. We suddenly became a lead crew. And so we finished the last 14 as lead crew, and of course the target, and it was a lot of fun. I didn't have to fly every day like some of these guys. They put those crews up 2 or 3 days in a row, and that, of course, was one day it just wears you down. In this photo you see on my magic ring on my finger, that's an Air Cadet ring.
Okay.
They promised us we were in it. I was in the infantry, and they promised me that if I volunteered to fly, I could be an officer and a gentleman. Of course, I was 18 years old and couldn't even drive a car, but I fell for it because I wanted out of the infantry. And I bought the ring, and 2 weeks later they flunked me out and said, "You're now a gunner." And the gunning, and so they flunked everybody out. 40 of us in the barrack. I think maybe 3 of them made it to the officers. They got to proceed. The rest of us were gunners, but I passed an aptitude test for radio. And so I got to go to radio school first. Some of the other guys passed mechanics aptitude test and got to go be mechanics. If you failed those courses, you got immediately you went to gunnery school. Luckily, I passed the radio test and became a radio operator with Morse code and voice. And then I went to gunnery school. So the Army had an excellent education program. They trained every one of us.
Thank you for listening, and to listen to the rest of the podcast, head over to our Patreon and subscribe. Thank you.